Signature moves are generally defined as moves that can only be learned by one Pokémon, one evolutionary line, or a legendary group. These are some of the best and most iconic moves in the game, like Mewtwo's Psystrike, Pikachu's Volt Tackle, or Rayquaza's Dragon Ascent. However, in this video, I'm going to be talking about Pokémon with pseudo-signature moves, a term I made up that I am defining as a move that is not a signature move, but in certain competitive contexts, may as well be, due to it only having relevant use on one or two Pokémon. These are mostly moves that have properties that are either enhanced by an ability, or don't even work without the use of a certain ability at all. Either that, or their usefulness is heavily reliant on the user having good stats, and these Pokémon are the only ones with stats good enough to take advantage of these moves. Most of these pseudo-signature moves will be in the context of Scarlet and Violet VGC, but I will be including some singles entries as well. Starting off, we have Grassy Glide being the pseudo-signature move of Rillaboom. Grassy Glide is a 55 base power, 100% accurate, physical grass type move with the property that it has increased priority if the user is in grassy terrain. Outside of grassy terrain, this move is very underwhelming, and there's really no reason to use it. Inside of grassy terrain though, it is one of the strongest priority moves in the game even after getting nerfed. Since Rillaboom has the Grassy Surge ability, it is able to set up its own grassy terrain, meaning that Rillaboom will always have priority with Grassy Glide unless its terrain either runs out or gets overridden. Grassy terrain also provides a 30% boost to grass type moves, making Grassy Glide essentially a 71.5 base power move. Since Rillaboom and its evolutionary line are the only Pokemon in the game with a grassy terrain setting ability and access to Grassy Glide, it functions as its pseudo-signature move, even though about 90 Pokemon can learn this move. Really, the only other VGC relevant user of this move is Ogerpon, but you pretty much have to also have a Rillaboom on your team if you want to make full use of this move. Next, we have Spore being the pseudo-signature move of Amoonguss. Spore is a 100% accurate, grass-type status move that puts the target to sleep. Moves that put the target to sleep are hard to come by, especially an accurate one, so Spore being 100% accurate makes it very valuable. Other than Amoonguss, there are only 3 other evolutionary lines that get access to Spore in Scarlet and Violet, and Amoonguss is by far the best out of all of them. Its ancient paradox form Brute Bonnet is just a worse version of itself. Toadscroll's ability makes Spore really hard to use, and Breloom is just outclassed by other grass types like Rillaboom and other fighting types like Urshifu. Now, I know Smeargle also commonly uses Spore, but it learns every move, so that's kinda cheating. I would say that Dark Void is more Smeargle's pseudo-signature move, as it was quite notorious for spamming it during Generation 6 VGC, back when it was still able to learn this move. Next, we have Facade being the pseudo-signature move of Ursaluna. Facade is a 70 base power, 100% accurate, physical normal type move with a unique property that it doubles in base power if the user has a non-volatile status condition. Facade is one of those moves like Protect or Substitute that almost every Pokemon can learn, but it's not that great unless you can take advantage of its unique property. The thing is, inflicting a status condition on yourself is not particularly beneficial, nor is it intuitive to do, unless you're Ursaluna. Ursaluna gets the ability Guts, which increases its attack by 50% when inflicted with a non-volatile status condition. It is also a normal type, so it gets Stab on Facade, a move that already has its base power doubled when Ursaluna is statused. To get an idea of how strong this move becomes, let's look at all the modifiers in place. Facade's starting base power is 70, multiply that by 2 for the status bonus, multiply that by 1.5 for the Guts boost, and multiply that by another 1.5 for Stab. This means that Ursaluna's Stab Guts boosted Facade is the equivalent of using a 315 base power move. Since Ursaluna is one of the only Pokemon in the game with access to Stab Guts boosted Facade, it's really the only Pokemon that's able to take advantage of this move in the format. Next, we have Aurora Veil being the pseudo-signature move of Alolan Ninetales. Aurora Veil is an Ice-type status move that reduces the damage of physical and special moves for 5 turns if it is snowing when used. This essentially acts like a Reflect and Light Screen combined into one move. Since you need snow to be up to use this move, you'll need a way to be able to set that snow. Like with Rillaboom and Grassy Glide, Alolan Ninetales is able to set up that snow with its ability Snow Warning, meaning that you don't have to waste a turn setting up snow manually with Snowscape or Chilly Reception. Before the Teal Mask DLC brought back Ninetales, Abomasnow was somewhat commonly used to pull off this same strat, but Ninetales has pretty much completely outclassed it since its re-release. Thus, Aurora Veil serves as the pseudo-signature move of Alolan Ninetales. Next, we have Water Spout being the pseudo-signature move of Kyogre. Water Spout is a 150 base power, 100% accurate, special water type move that decreases in power the less HP the user has. This move is almost a signature move of Kyogre in Generation 9, but the Squirtle evolutionary line also gets this move. I don't think it should come as a surprise to hear that Kyogre is better than Blastoise. Kyogre not only has insane stats as a legendary, but it also sets up its own Rain with Drizzle. When Kyogre is at full HP, its Stab, Rain boosted Water Spout is one of the strongest spread moves in the game. This is what makes Kyogre consistently one of the strongest Pokemon in restricted formats. Next, we have Tail Glow being the pseudo-signature move of Manaphy. Tail Glow is a bug-type status move that increases the user's special attack by 3 stages. This move is almost the signature move of Manaphy in Generation 9, but Volbeat also gets this move. Xurkitree is the only other Pokemon to learn this move at all, but it is not available in Scarlet and Violet. As I mentioned in a previous video though, Tail Glow is completely wasted on Volbeat, a Pokemon with a special attack stat of 47. Volbeat is also just terrible otherwise, but Manaphy does see some decent use in Smogon's UU and OU tiers. It was also one of the lucky few water types that kept access to Scald, a very solid special water type move. You could always just run Surf as well, another reliable special water move. The point is, Manaphy is able to take advantage of a +3 special attack boost, while Volbeat is not, making Tail Glow the pseudo-signature move of Manaphy. For the last entry, we have Expanding Force being the pseudo-signature move of Armarouge. Expanding Force is an 80 base power, 100% accurate, special psychic type move that becomes a spread damaging move and increases to 120 base power when used on psychic terrain. Before the Pokemon Home update, this actually was the signature move of Armarouge, as it was no longer a teachable move in Scarlet and Violet, and Armarouge was the only Pokemon that could learn it through level up. In VGC Series 1, 2, and Reg C, Armarouge was one of the most used Pokemon in the format due to its strong pairing with Indeedee, a Pokemon that could both set up psychic terrain for increased damage on Expanding Force, and provide support with Follow Me, Trick Room, and Helping Hand. After the Pokemon Home update, this was no longer the signature move of Armarouge, as the Lake Trio all learned it, but I would still consider it Armarouge's pseudo-signature move because the Lake Trio all have Levitate, therefore they are not grounded and do not get any damage boost from psychic terrain. After the second DLC though, Expanding Force is finally a teachable move again, as it is TM218, so I would no longer consider it Armarouge's pseudo-signature move. Pokemon like Calyrex Shadow, Lunala, Hatterene, Indeedee Male, and Iron Crown use this move too in addition to Armarouge. But with Regulation H banning almost all of these Pokemon, who knows, maybe Armarouge will be the best Expanding Force user again. And those are Pokemon with pseudo-signature moves. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with any of the entries I included, or feel that I missed any. I was also thinking about doing this video but for abilities, so let me know if that's something you'd like to see. If you want to support me and my channel, the best way to do so is just by leaving a nice comment. I currently do not have any perks for members, so please do not join unless you really want to support me and are financially capable of doing so. Likes are also one of the ways in which YouTube determines if a video should be passed around to more people, so if you feel that this video deserves it, I would appreciate it. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video and really appreciate if you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for watching.